Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Blue lady. Watch the slap. Watch the slap. Watch the slap. Let him go.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Vaughn. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Let him go.
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Winston. Ebron caught left side. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st down, Vaughn. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. On 3rd down, it's Freeman, and he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted, was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Go! Hey, 319! 57!
Now the first carry for Bush. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 65 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Allen. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing now is Allen. Throw left side, complete to Moss. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Allen now looks to throw. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Winston. And an alley to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He's going to walk a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
To throw, it's Allen. Open man is Ross, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. 55 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
1st and goal, Bush. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
50, 525. All deck, punt. Let him go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position. 2nd quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. On 2nd down, it's Vaughn, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe is them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like...
And Winston lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be. Exactly what you said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Well, they've disrupted already for 3 INTs. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. They'll run on first down. It's Vaughn. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. From just shy of midfield, Winston. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Freeman. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On first down, it's Vaughn. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Mecole Hardman, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Winston now.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On 2nd and 10, Winston to the right side to Eric Ebron. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Watch 22. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up.
First down, Winston. Short little throw to Ebron. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. To throw again on 2nd down, Winston. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 2nd down now, it's Bush. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there as the first half is winding down as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And the Broncos are going to get the football. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also, it may signal that they feel like they have the superior team. That they can try these sorts of things, and it won't come back and hurt them later.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. At least.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Here's Allen to throw it. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Throwing again on second down. Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there, with touchdown number 23 here on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the third, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that, and guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. Allen. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Back to the air on second down. It's Allen. Completes it to Hardman. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 39. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now Allen. Eluding the pressure right. Uncorks one for Dave. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and goal, Allen. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
57 to Mike. We own it. We own it.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he'll get it only to about the 3 and no further as they stop him. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run-blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Freeman again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on. And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Here it comes.
On 1st down, Allen. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here's Allen. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati 1st down. Play action. Now it's Allen. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Carl Lawson, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air, Allen, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. From 17 yards out, as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of
And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Winston. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bet.
And this is caught inside the 5. He got 29 yards that time.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Hey, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen, and he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Mecole Hardman with touchdown number 15 of the year and 2nd of the game. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something
Heads up
to make it pass.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never play their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Being chased out left. Throw left side complete. That's Moss.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Cincinnati. 57 yards. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, obviously, that is declined, and the result is a safety.
And what a momentum play that is, right? You never want to see a safety wiped out. You get the points, and you're going to get the ball back.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go. Miami! Watch two. I'm coming. I'm coming.
So after the INT, it's Allen. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they...
And this is taken in at the 5. A big play there for the Bengals. 56 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. So Allen's going to look to throw, escaping the press. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
They've gone to the 4th up in Seattle, and it was the Seahawks who were able to take home the victory there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Jameis to throw it. And the pressure gets to him again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just going to struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Well, a heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. They're going to try for it on 4th. Winston stays out there. One last shot now for Winston. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.